Oh my gosh.
Let's go, Manny the Mantis!
This is a dance dinghy. Did you make a friend? Is this your new friend?
This is definitely where the party people are at. Hey. I love living on anchor.
We're Michael and Joel, and the star of the show is Lola. Our home is a sailboat, and we live for adventure. Subscribe and join us for honest, relatable stories that entertain and inspire.
Thank you to our patrons for keeping the dream alive. Let's go, baby!
These are the tales of BOAB.
That's the one. Well, we are not in the land of flat anchorages and smooth little marinas any longer. It's about 11:30, 12 o'clock when the wind picks up. You know, and we're in a somewhat protected anchorage, but it's just a different world out here. So we're getting used to the boat. Rocking and rolling a little. It's really not too bad, but it's, you know, the dinghy's bumping around. It just makes everything a little bit more intense. So you gotta just breathe, remain calm, communicate with each other, and try to relax and stop thinking about all the things that could possibly go wrong. We're about to go do some exploring here in La Parguera. We've heard so much about this place, and Lola has definitely earned a day off the boat. So we have to find Lola a beach, somewhere to run, stretch her legs, and we're gonna hang out with our friends on Caterpillar over there. And we're all packed up and ready to go. We're gonna bring you along for the ride. We're not even in gear, we're just drifting towards our destination. Hold strong, Manny the Mantis.
The water here is beautiful, but it's ripping.
Yeah, we'll probably be on the lookout for another place to anchor. We might want to move if we see something good. It's a little exposed out here. It's not bad, but it's got to be a place with a little better protection maybe. Let's go, baby! Let's go, baby! It's the Caterpillar crew. Gonna crawl around the world. Caterpillar cruise. Gonna crawl around the world.
So I guess there's no like city dinghy dock. We're just looking for a spot in the mangroves that we can tie up in and then just kind of wade in the little gap, shoot the gap. We found the gap. Looks pretty deep.
Yeah, it's pretty deep all the way up right to the edge here. Probably got enough momentum now.
Look at the little fishies.
Yeah, and I got a little paddle if we need it.
Ooh.
Show me your line.
Ooh.
We're coming right in.
Thanks. Do I? Thank you, Drew. That worked out great.
I'm really unsure of where we were going. Sorry.
No, I appreciate you guys.
It's like gap in the mangroves.
I know. Could be anywhere. Man, it feels like we're real boaters again.
Yeah.
That was
It's like minor victories.
So was that just like online, Danielle, like
Yes.
a Google or?
It was in Active Captain.
Oh, nice. All right, first stop is some food.
Unanimously, Isla Cueva was the best burger joint we found in all of Puerto Rico. with an extensive draft beer selection and quite an interesting menu.
I think we need to speed up.
It's our anniversary.
True, it is their anniversary. We should help them celebrate. Is the dinghy still there, Lola? Yes, they are. All right, Mangrove Parking was a success. This is the place to park if you want to come into La Parguera and go to the best hamburger joint in the world. Lola.
Which is the dumb camera. I'm not gonna look at it.
All right, now we're gonna go find Playa Rosada. It's a swimming pool built in the ocean. It definitely looks like a spectacle to see.
So after you get done with an awesome lunch and a couple beers in town and you're heading back out to the water, the only thought going through your mind is my boat still there? Oh, I hope she's still there right where I left her. She's holding. Manny the Mantis is a beast. Oh my gosh.
Let's go, Manny the Mantis!
This is a dance dinghying.
A little wet, but good. Here we go, baby! Hold on to your butt, Lola.
That was bloody intense.
Pull the anchor in, pull the anchor in. Pull this closer, quick, here.
We're not really catching on this anchor, babe.
Really?
I can, oh,
right.
That feels like it caught, but it was slipping.
All right, well, we're too close to the rocks over here.
Okay. Boat life. Adventure.
All right, right here.
Okay. It feels like rocky, but also kind of spongy bottom. Hope our dry bag works. Cameras and phones and everything got pretty drenched.
Yeah, it's just not catching.
I think we came up with a plan. They're gonna walk the dinghies over to those mangroves, tie them up. Did you make a friend? Is this your new friend? Oh. Oh. Lola's making friends everywhere she goes.
Anchoring the boat's one thing. Anchoring the dinghy, evidently a whole different thing. I didn't know about.
That was intense.
Way too intense.
Yeah, it's always crazy flying in blind. Having to figure out what you're gonna do on the fly.
Look at Lola's new friend.
Oh, Lola!
So this is where we were trying to head, this natural pool here, and we just learned it's closed on Mondays. And today's a Monday. But after 4:30, apparently you can go around the fence or find your own way in. How's this beach day going?
Brilliant. Brilliant. Better for Lola than all of us combined, but that's what makes it so good.
Yeah, all of us are having a little bit of trouble getting into the moment. We're just a little worried about the boats. It's just a little worried. We're fine, but it's in the back of your mind. Hopefully our girls are holding strong, because it's blowing about 25 knots steady, up to 30. Hard to get into the moment and enjoy.
Yeah.
But
Lola's not having any trouble.
Lola's definitely, yeah, and it's helping us to have fun. Lola just always has fun at the beach.
Oh, sweetie.
So I'm sneaking up on Captain Bill here. He was on Caterpillar. They buddy boated with us here to La Parguera, and we were doing the check-in the day after, and he made a bold comment after some troubles that he had, and I talked to Bill, and he said he would share with all of you something pretty bold, I guess is the way to say it. I would say it's bold.
Not a big fan of the Raycor fuel filters. They're like standard of the industry, and everybody talks about Raycors are the best thing out there. But quite honestly, I'm not a big fan of the design because we've had a multitude of problems with them. The way the design it comes, the fuel comes through a choke point, which is a little floating ball that's designed to float if there's water in there and block it off. But then it's supposed to spin and separate and then go through the filter and then to the motor. But the little ball point is a choke point. So if you have any sizable substance coming through the line, it clogs before it can even get to the filter. And then to disassemble the whole thing is a nightmare. There's little O-rings and gaskets and tiny little screws that are odd sizes. And to get the thing taken apart and cleaned out every time something clogs it's just a total pain in the ass. So if I could find a better one out there, I would. But for now, we have them, but not a big fan.
And the Raycor is also something that we have on Shock Mate, but we have not even taken it apart as far as they have. We've just changed our filter. But the problem they're having is, like he said, with this little ball that floats up and blocks if you have water in your fuel.
Right.
And apparently
Well, you're not having water.
Right, the
it's
gunk.
Just the gunk coming through is blocking in where that ball is.
And just jams it up there. So that's good for us to know. I was happy to hear that. So if our fuel cuts out, we can't figure out what's going on. Now we know to check that. But
and spend 2 hours taking it apart and cleaning it out and putting it back together.
Which is what they had to do about a half an hour into the trip.
Again.
Bye, Bob.
Oh, did you have a good time, Lola? She always has a great time. Should be a little better heading back.
Here, help me paddle.
Okay. Got a paddle. It looks like the boats are still there. So all in all, a beautiful, successful beach day. Ooh.
Happy anniversary to Bill and Tana Lee.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure to spend 2
Another.
years with you.
Yeah. Just
Well,
1 year, but
1 year, but we were there for 2 anniversaries.
they've been together 29 years.
Something I'm aspiring to do with Michael.
Me too. What do you guys think? Do we have what it takes?
Is this your favorite part of boat life, Lola?
The water is pretty warm. I think it just gets cold like when the wind hits her. Alright, we're almost done.
So Lola gets to go crazy at the beach, but then she has to get a nice fresh water shower
Hey, come here. You're
afterwards
not done
because she's all salty and she's got a lot of sand in every crevice.
yet. Come here.
Go on.
Good girl.
Go on, Lola.
Good girl. Oh, and she's such a good girl.
Lola's such a good girl. There you go, girl. There you go. Yeah. You all clean?
Oh, doesn't that feel good?
Doesn't that feel good, old girl?
Oh.
Caracales was less than a 5-minute dinghy ride away from where our boats were anchored. And it's definitely where my party people are at. Coming in hot, tarpon. All right, we're here at Caracales. We're going up current right now, and then we're gonna just float back nice and chill. This current is ripping. I would say, how fast would you say this thing is going? 6 knots. It's hard. It's hard. We're just
Can't even walk through it.
pushing our way up right here. It's gonna be really fun to float down it, and this is definitely where the party people are at. Hey-o. Now we're gonna drift.
This is my beautiful yoga mat that I am entirely obsessed with. It has like completely elevated our quality of living here on the boat. I think for me, it's absolutely essential to boat life, to stretching out, to exercising, to feeling good. Not only that, this particular one, I think it's beautiful, so I leave it out all the time. It's just a rug, a centerpiece in our home. It's really nice to walk on. It's super grippy, so when we're underway and the boat's slamming around, like this thing doesn't move, and so it's pretty stable footing on our hardwood floors. It's thick as well, so it's durable. We've actually had a few other yoga mats before this one that did not stand up at all. They just kind of started crumbling with use, and I guess something about the elements out here living on the water, they just weren't up to the task. But this one we've been using for 6 weeks so far, 6 weeks, maybe even 8 weeks, and it doesn't look any different than the day that we got it. Now, this yoga mat is actually something that was sent to us by a startup in San Diego. A couple of other boat owners, Jared and his wife Sarah, they own a business. It's called Yoga Theory. Their website is yogatheory.com. And what they're doing is creating sustainably sourced yoga mats that are durable and yet recyclable at the end of their life. So they're made of natural materials. Like this one is jute, I believe. The strings in it are all natural, and they're just laid into this backing. And so it's actually a double-sided yoga mat. You can use both sides if you want, but I really love this side. And what Jared has decided to do for our followers, those of you who are interested in boat life and might also decide that a yoga mat will be essential to your quality of life on board, is they're offering you a 15% discount code for any of the 4 beautiful yoga mats on their website. So Bums on a Boat is the discount code. I'll leave all that information in the description below, so check it out. Jill is the breakfast man on board Jacques Mate. He makes a mean breakfast every single morning. Bacon, potatoes, eggs. We're eating good.
Another item that has changed our lives on this boat is a Dometic alcohol stove.
Non-pressurized.
Non-pressurized. We got the propane out of the cabin and off the boat, really. We have little tiny tanks for our barbecue, but that's very minimal. We're just cooking on this. And in Puerto Rico, we had a little bit of a scare. We drove all over the place trying to find some alcohol.
Home Depot, Walmart, hardware stores all over the place. Could not find denatured alcohol anywhere.
We panicked and went to Walmart and bought a bunch of butane and a little butane cooking stove because we were about to be on the move and we had to have something, and we were down to our last gallon of alcohol. Then we found out that heat, which is a product that you can get at an auto parts store, it's mainly for removing water out of gas lines, preventing gas lines from freezing. How would you say this is working?
Amazing. It works just as good as the methanol that we had in the DR. And actually, Joel watched a video where some guy said it was actually his favorite thing to use, like even better than denatured alcohol.
Because it burned cleaner, it didn't, leave the black soot on the bottom of the pan, and it also brought the water up to a boiling temperature quicker than any of the other products he was trying.
Yep.
And we also met a couple on the dock. Long story short, they found out that Sherwin-Williams had denatured alcohol in Puerto Rico. So we actually got a couple gallons of the denatured alcohol from Sherwin-Williams. Plus we got a bunch of heat.
So we're pretty much set for the next couple months,
And I don't know
think.
if you've noticed, if you've been following, we actually just now got our gimbal set up, but we kind of just had it sitting. Okay, we got 3 kind of peppers here. Jalapenos. The other 2 I wasn't sure. Maybe Michael knows. A red one and this little orange one.
I don't know.
They were all hot. Potatoes, eggs, and bacon, and a tortilla. And I just don't think it gets much better than that.
Highlights from the last 48 hours is the fact that Manny the Mantis, our new anchor that we're testing out, has not slipped one time in this kind of crazy anchorage. I mean, it's crazier than what we've been used to.
Shout out to Mantis. Thank you for sponsoring Bums on a Boat.
Yeah.
And thank you for being patient. It's been over 2 years since we actually got to use Manny the Mantis. You might be wondering how we came up with the name Manny for our mantis.
We didn't come up with it.
Yeah, patron of ours, David, came up with the name. We have a WhatsApp group called The Rendezvous, and all of our patrons are on there. They're welcome to be on there. Not every one of the patrons wants to participate in the Rendezvous, but there's a good, eclectic, awesome group of people, and they have great conversations amongst themselves. And of
we
course,
get to interact with them too.
we interact
Yeah.
as well. And they gave us this awesome name. We tossed
Super
around a
fun.
few ideas. We liked Manny the
Yep.
Mantis.
Yeah, David actually let us know as well that the meaning behind that name is God is with us. So that's a pretty hard one to pass up on.
Yeah, that sold it.
So we're feeling really good about Manny the Mantis. We're also feeling so good about being out here on the move, exploring. La Parguera is like an amazing first stop on our exploration of the Caribbean this season. So stay tuned because we're about to be sailing and exploring every single week.
Next stop, Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
So this is another world out here. Like we said, we're living on anchor now.
Learning to adjust to the
On the
rocking and the
move.
rolling.
Gonna have to hunt down our gasoline and our water,
Yep.
and we're gonna have to manage our batteries and all of that fun stuff. No more shore power,
No.
no more parking lots. It's all gonna be an adventure.
I'm excited. How about you?
I'm a little bit scared.
No. It might be scary, but it'll be awesome.
Hold strong, Manny the Mantis.
All right. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, leave us a comment, tell us what you thought about La Parguera. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you don't subscribe, you'll probably get 7 years of bad luck, so that's really not worth it.
No, that's not the case. If you subscribe, you will definitely get 7 years of good luck.
Oh, did I say
There's
it
no
wrong?
penalty if you don't subscribe.
Did I say it
There's
wrong?
just an incentive if you do subscribe, which is 7 years of good luck.
Guaranteed. All right. We'll see you next time. Lola?
Bye, y'all. It's been real.
Oh, it's been a real good time. I love living on anchor.
Oh, let me get in on